The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. On a Sabbath, Jesus went to dine at the home of one of the leading Pharisees. He said to the host who invited him, "When you hold a lunch or a dinner, do not invite your friends or your brothers or your sisters or your relatives or your wealthy neighbors, in case they may invite you back and you have repayment. Rather, when you hold a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind. Blessed indeed will you be because of their inability to repay you, for you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
November's all about the last things. So if you think of, we start November 1 off with the Feast of All Saints. All the saints are in heaven. November 2, and all throughout the rest of the month is for All Souls. And then it kind of usually triumphs at the last week of Ordinary Time, which falls at the end of the month, which is Christ the King, Jesus' second coming. He'll come back, the resurrection of the righteous, as he speaks of today. So November kind of has all these last things in mind. So it's good for us to know a little bit about what that involves. And I would just maybe speak of today about the judgment, the day our Lord's judgment upon us. So we know that when we die, the church would teach that there is the particular judgment, that we ourselves are judged in the sense of our choices. We choose either heaven or hell. God gives us that decision, and he judges. That's what we call the particular judgment, that we choose whichever direction we're going. Throughout our life, we make that decision at the end of our life, if that makes sense. Heaven or hell, then we're on the way to heaven. There's purgatory, all that stuff. But we do believe in what's called the general judgment. At the end of time, when our Lord comes again, new heaven, new earth stuff, then we'll reap what we've sown throughout life. So you think of, during our life, our actions here have a lasting effect that goes well beyond both our lifetime and the lifetime of many others here. Like, it has a ripple effect throughout history, for good or for ill, right? So, that's what our Lord's getting at today. And then at the end of time, we'll see what those fruits produce, We'll see the good that my action in 2023 did in the year 5000. I don't know when our Lord's coming back. Okay. But when that comes, what did my actions in this life bear fruit? That long-term stuff. So that's what our Lord is talking about today. For you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. So the deeds I do for, in this case, our Lord's given us for, the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind. They can't repay me in this lifetime. He's shooting us to the fullness of time. What we do now, for good or ill, is going to bear fruit in the long run, way long term. That's what he's shooting us past. That's the resurrection, the general judgment we would speak of, that when our Lord comes again at the end of time. So I guess the moral of the story today is, hey, when I'm acting in this world, that's what we do as human persons, we act. Keep in mind the long-range goal of how is my action right now going to bear fruit in the year 5000, for good or ill. That's good. That's what we're made for. Instead of how can I get something out of this person? That didn't go very far. Okay, we're made for more. We're made for the long run. We're made for eternity. So let's keep that in mind, that, whatever we do today may bear fruit in the long run, in everlasting life throughout history. But it's good also for us to know what the church teaches about judgment. At the end of our lives, particular judgment. I will be judged, heaven or hell. And that largely involves my choices throughout life. Do I choose to follow God and cooperate with his grace or not? Okay? Then at the end of time, there's what's called the general judgment. We'll reap what we sow, for good or for ill. So let's keep that long-term stuff in mind as we act in this world.